Good evening, Julien. There you are in Paris. How are you? How is Paris?
Good morning, Max. Did you receive my card? I was supposed to send you a written card from last week. Did you get it?
I did. I would hold it up and show it to you, but the dog ate it. But I did get a chance to read it. The cockles of my heart are warmed.
Haven't used
I'm just
that
glowing.
excuse of the dog ate it for quite a few years. So glad to hear it, and hopefully my daughter's not going to be able to use it for another few years. Is that what the story is going to be all about this week?
No. I have a story, and this is one where I think I need to use the company name.
Okay.
And it is I'm going to tell it. I'm not going to preview it in any way, shape, or form. This is a Google story. I
Never heard of them.
Google Mail. Yeah, never heard of them. I use Google Mail. I use Google Photos, etc. And they have storage caps, and they're big. I think it's 15 gig. And I've been using Google Mail for, I don't even remember how long. And only now I hit the storage cap, or got started to approach the storage cap. And of course, their response I find phenomenally grating. It's, hey, for $20 a year, you can $2 a month, you can upgrade, and we'll give you tons of storage, so you won't have this problem anymore. And of course, my reaction is, I'm not doing that. So they also have some tools in email to find stuff and delete things. And so I just started doing that. I'm like, okay, I'm going to free up. And I have daily junk emails that, because I've had a lot of storage, I've never done. So I'm just going to delete a ton of emails. And then they had a place to delete attachments. So I went in and, you see what you're deleting. And I deleted a bunch of stuff, and it didn't really free up enough space. And then I did another round, and it finally got to the point where I was functional again. And then I went into my Google Docs, and 2 spreadsheets that I use every week had disappeared in the process. Oh. And of course, I deleted, and you don't get the space free until you empty the trash. And once you empty the trash, there's no going back. So and these files are like, I found a year-old version of them, and these are so important to me. The fact that I at least had a year-old version of them was making me dance in the aisles. But still, I was like, oh my God, this is a horror show. So I went to Google, started searching and looking for things to do. And eventually I found, you would have been very happy, I found a chat-based tech support. 1 minute wait. And the person was very friendly. I don't remember the exact wording, but she did something I thought very clever. She said, I have some very basic questions I'm going to ask you, and then we'll get started. And what a great way to position, is the power on, all that stuff, So she did that. She went through the simplistic questions, answered them all. And basically, she had the power to undelete everything I deleted. She wasn't allowed to cherry pick.
Look into
which
it,
makes sense. The privacy, that I appreciated that. And she did that. And of course, my 2 files didn't show up, but we were going back and forth about that. And then they did. It just, some things don't instantly reappear when they get undeleted, I guess. So my 2 files were there. My 2 files were fine. Nothing was, no harm, no foul. Everything went forward. I thanked her profusely. She saved me hours of makeup work that it would have been to regain that. So the support experience was great. Couldn't ask for more. Polite, I even did the review and said how wonderful it was, but I never deleted those files. I never saw those files and clicked delete. I don't know. I have no idea what I did to make those things go away. And thank God I did this on a day when I used one of those files, so I knew they were gone. And that was one of the things the support person did. She thanked me for quickly doing this because the file, the files sit around in whatever backend server, but at some point they're going to get overwritten. And, part of why this worked was I did it right away and they hadn't gotten overwritten. And guess what I did the next time I logged in? I went and paid the $20. I did, instead of $2 a month, I did the $19.99 and just cursing the whole, that's $20 a year. It's not enough to worry about, but just cursing Google for making me do that. And I still, for the life of me, don't understand how I deleted those files, but I did, and I survived it, and they had great support around it. So overall, I'm kind of bitter, but from a support standpoint, CX was bad, service was good.
There's so many things to unpack here. Let me try to list them quickly before we deep dive. There is the fact that you and I are terrible customers because you've been using free stuff for years and still you're cursing when we ask you to pay $20.
Yeah,
which is insane.
Enough.
But
fair
you
enough.
and I are the same, so don't get it wrong. We're in the same boat. Same sinking boat at some point. There is the beauty of having everything connected, which Google does incredibly well. And then the other side of the coin, where everything is connected, well, when you fuck up something, it probably has a domino effect on everything else.
Yeah.
There is customer support that was great. I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to unpack there because it seems to be very smooth. Most of those services usually have a 30 days thing. I know I'm a big user of Google Drive for everything business, and I'm a big user of Dropbox for everything personal. And both of them, I seem to remember, when you delete something, even if you empty the trash bin, you still have 30 days to recover it, which is brilliant because shit happens, unfortunately. So there is all of that. There's plenty of angles to take that specific experience. And I just want to place it before I forget. Storage space is actually, I'm just going to be Greta Thunberg for a second, if you don't mind. The storage space is insane for the environment. You use 15 gigabytes. I probably use the same for things we will never open again, but we feel bad about deleting them. You know that email from 1972 where I had a photo of some guy I don't know? It's 3 gigabytes, but I can't delete it. Maybe one day I
want to see that
need
email from 1972.
Well, okay, so it might be a bit exaggerated.
No, point taken.
But, it's like the key you got in your drawer. You have no idea where the hell this key's coming from. But if you trash it and tomorrow you need the key, you won't have it. And that we do the same with our emails. We don't need 90% of our emails. We could trash them. We keep storage space that ultimately is using energy. We are in the middle of an worldwide energy crisis. And we're all the same. We all keep that. So I've been using a service, terrible interface, hate the way you connect it, but I found it smart, which is called either Clean Fox or Fox Clean, however you put the words together. That's an app. You connect it to your email. They help you unregister and delete all the newsletters you receive from stuff you never requested, and that empties your box and hopefully saves some storage space. If everyone was doing this, I don't know what would the impact be, but
global warming would be
positive.
Some
slightly
sort of
better
percentage less. Yeah. No, that's.
But
all right,
anyway,
now I'm feeling guilty, but.
No, but I'm the same. I use personal local storage because I use my own domain name for that. Terrible interface. And every 2 months they come back saying, "Hey, you've almost reached, your 10 gigs." Because I've had it for 10 years now. So every 2 months I need to re-empty the whole thing. And what are my largest file, all this email, this trash, all this plus this app I was talking about? That's pretty terrible. The difference is I'm paying for the email and I'm paying for the storage. But yeah, I feel your pain. But I think if we don't want to pay, we need to find better ways to trash what we don't need, which is against my own habits. So I feel for you when you have difficulties deleting emails. But also you need to find a way to do it without killing everything else you have in your box, which apparently could be problematic for some of your files.
Yeah, that's it's interesting. I probably we're getting to the point of one last thought here. My work email, I keep on top of, and I read every email and mark it read. And I don't, the system purges stuff automatically, so I don't delete stuff. But I don't do that with my personal email because I've never run into, for however many years I've had this, I haven't run into space issues, and I just don't even think about it. And I probably really should move to not having tens of thousands of unread emails, but actually all the emails that come in, mark them, and even because I get so much junk, and just purging a ton of that would make so much sense.
It would. That's stuff you're not going to need. That's having an impact, potentially costing you money at this point. You won't go bankrupt for $20 a year, and that's very fair of them to ask for that money. It's actually very cheap. That should be more than that. So it's a fair ask.
Is.
And there is a way around. That's what I love about it. There is a way around. It's like all these apps where you can have the free version if you accept the ads. Here you can have the free version if you accept to clean your mess, or you pay for it. And I think it's the same thing. I find it fair, and I usually go for the free version anyway. So
I did until I was backed into a corner, and now I feel like I should purge better and do that. So I signed up for a year, so I've got a year to get around to doing that.
So should we reconnect on this a year from now and see how you feel then?
Yes, let's do that. I'll bet you $50 the answer will be, I'm at 20 gig and I've got a lot of room, and maybe next year I'll do it.
I believe that would be that. Thank you so much for sharing today, Max. Hope you feel better about it. And don't worry, you'll make another $20 before the end of the year, I guarantee.
All right. Thanks, Julien.
Thank you, Max.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.